Hey there, fellow trendsetters. And you know what? I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something. When I get asked about the current superhero comic books, I'm just like, yeah, I just don't care very much about it. You know, I'm just don't just have a second thought about the current superheroes. No, I'm not a hater of superhero comics. I'm not like stroking my friggin' massive hate boner all the time like Garth Ennis does. I just when I just think of that superhero comic books, I just see him as just like the plain old standard. Like when I see Marvel and DC books, I just immediately think of them as like the McDonald's or the Burger King of the comics world. But you know what? This time, I'm actually going to be focusing on a superhero title made and focused in Australia. So, does it actually offer anything new or different to the reader? Well, I'm going to give out my worthless opinion on this. Whenever you like it or not. Cue music. Stop. Main content. Okay, I'm actually going to admit this. This comic was kind of hard to review because, well, this is actually probably the only like torn or Southern Squadron comic book I've ever read. So yeah, this is like a bit of a team up book. This is Torn, Southern Squadron, and the Dark Nebula. Reverie's superverse, if you will. So this is the first issue of a 9-issue multi-series where all three titles will be doing this crossover event for the Reverie universe. So this issue here, which I'm reviewing, has both Dave DeVries and Rob Riles writing this one. And Dave actually does the colouring on this. Well, even though I got the black and white version, but with the delightful Ben Sullivan handling the art duties. And, I guess I had a hand in this. As in, I just donated some cash to their Kickstarter campaign. Well, I do believe in helping out my fellow creative countrymen. So, first things first, let's talk about the art. And again, Ben Sullivan actually delivers another well done piece of work. His style actually has changed in this to be more suited for the typical superhero type book. I don't know if it's just me or the art in this is likely like a cross between the American 90s Big 2 / Image and then the 2080 like European style. But it looks well done. So his art actually like flows well, and every character is quite expressive in this, making them a bit more individual. So what? Respect the Ben. The story for this? Well, I'm not sure is this particular issue a jumping point for new readers or not. Because this comic actually just throws you into the deep end, giving the reader quite a fair bit of action. But I get the impression that there's a bunch of subplots going on as well. So therefore, you're probably going to have to like grab previous issues of Torn, the Southern Squadron, and the Dark Nebula as well, probably to know what exactly is going on. Probably could have had a bit of a quick recap like at the start for all this. And the execution for this, well, this just has to be said. I read this comic a number of times, mainly just for this review, and it just feels just so standard and generic. It just doesn't offer anything new or fresh to the table. Look, I'll actually just point this out though. In the world of comics, there's no such thing as an 100% original idea. This is true. But then there are superhero books out there where they twist the premise, or, they come out actually a lot fresh. They actually like stand out from the rest. Like, you got the Savage Dragon, you got the Boys, you even got like My Hero Academia and the Umbrella Academy. They just all bring something different to the genre. Even like Invincible, a book which I just can find completely unoriginal as shit, it still actually stands out because it's just like how the whole thing was executed. I mean, look, you even have like Aussie books out there like Turbo Supermax, arguably the most un-PC superhero comic Australia has to offer, and Radical, which I just call it like a Larrikin's superhero comic book. They actually give me something more interesting to the table. But this just feels like this is just straight out of the plain old textbook of superheroes, which has just been done many times before. Does this actually make me want to grab more future issues? Well, no. Does it actually make me want to like hunt down the previous issues? Well, no. It's just another plain old superhero comic with a different coat of paint. And the coarse language, So how many times do I have to say this? They actually like let some swear words out, like the low level coarse language, but then the harder ones, it gets censored. Just like you either use the whole damn lot or you don't. How many times do I have to just say that? So the verdict for this whole thing, yeah, I'm unfortunately just gonna give this a 2 out of 5. Well, I probably would have given this a bit of a higher score if the comic market wasn't so flooded with superhero books. But it is. And this title is just another grain of sand in the seabed. Now, I'm just hoping I haven't like killed this book. I don't wish the book to stop. But if you want that little golden sticker from me, I'm going to say like the writing needs much more improvement and it'd be a bit more outside the box. The art's pretty good though. So, you can take my word for it and probably like go back to the drawing board. Or you can just tell me to cram that comic up my asshole. It is just my worthless opinion, after all. Please like and subscribe and all that junk. And